Good morning, all you people way down there on the 3rd floor. Is it going to be possible for you to all pay the building maintenance fee early this month? What maintenance fee? This is the first I've heard about a fee like that. Don't go pleading ignorance. Come on. You agreed to the rules when you moved into this building. We agreed to the rules, yes. I've got the contract in front of me, but it doesn't say anything about paying a building maintenance fee. It's an unwritten rule we all decided on. By we, I mean us residents living on the top floors. We decided the fee was necessary to maintain the good reputation of our building in this neighborhood. Everyone living on the bottom 3 floors is required to pay every month. You should set up an automatic payment so I don't have to ask every month. What the? That's ridiculous. All of you living down there at the bottom probably didn't get the memo, but it's common practice in such high-rise condominiums. I've never heard of such a thing. And I've got plenty of friends living in similar places all up and down the East Coast. They do. You just don't have much experience living in such a place. It explains why you were unaware of this kind of system. That may be so, but I can assure you other places don't have that kind of system. It's extortion. You can't just decide to collect money from people. The building administrator hasn't said anything. How long has this been going on? I only moved into the building last month, so this is the first time. And you've convinced everyone else? I find it hard to believe that they'd all agree. Some of the people living here moved in as soon as it was built. And what about those who are renting? You're effectively raising their rent. Yes, everyone else has agreed. They can clearly see the need for building maintenance, and they've all paid already. I find that hard to believe. Are you telling me old Mr. Wilson in 205 just agreed? He would argue the color of the sky just for the sake of having an argument. Mr. Wilson not only agreed, but he offered to go and bang on doors to help with the collection this month. In fact, you are the only one complaining about it. I bet they think it's for something else. Maybe everyone thinks it's just a one-off payment. You'll have a lot of convincing to do if you expect to make it a regular monthly payment. If you refuse to pay, then you'll have to vacate the building. What right do you have to kick me out of this building? You yourself just moved in last month, you said. What right? I certainly have a lot more rights than those of you living way down on the 3rd floor. Oh, and you'll have to stop using the elevator. And now you're banning the use of the elevator? Who do you think you are? You can't just do what you want. Go on, humor me. Why am I not allowed to use the elevator? This should be good. Okay, I'll lay it out nice and simply for you so there aren't any misunderstandings. It goes without saying that the people living on the top floors are wealthy. They paid more for their condo, or they are paying much higher rent. It also goes without saying that they are extremely important and busy people. They are busy running companies or doing open-heart surgery. They aren't doing menial and pointless jobs like those of you down on the lower floors. People up here are saving lives and making decisions that decide the future course of the country. So we need to be able to make use of the elevator unmolested by you commoners down there. That doesn't make any sense. Sounds like you're just trying to boss everyone around. Who died and made you king? Oh dear. I guess to someone just barely making ends meet like you, the lives of us way up on the top floors must be the subject of a lot of jealousy. I wish I could do something about it, but my hands are tied. Wow. Such delusions of grandeur. This is a serious case. You need to get help. Anyway, you can do what you like, but I won't stop using the elevator. Your place is only 3 floors up. You'd use the elevator to go up 3 measly floors and inconvenience all the people wanting to use it? Typical poor people. Always wanting something for nothing. Always with your hand out. You probably sit around all day doing nothing. The exercise will do you good. No, in fact, if you must know, I'm pregnant. I'll be using the elevator for the safety of my baby. How would you feel if I slipped on the stairs and lost the baby? It would be your fault. Oh, so you lie about all day, complaining about how life is so unfair, and as soon as you get pregnant, you become all high and mighty? Shall we roll out the red carpet from the parking lot to your front door? You know nothing about me. How can you make such sweeping assumptions about me? I've seen you walking from the entrance to your cheap old car. That's all I need to know. And your husband looks just as bad. Really low level. But you probably suit each other. A bottom-dwelling couple. You've really tried to make a big leap up in status, haven't you? Moving into such an expensive building. Even down at your level, it must have broken the bank, no? You guys are adorable. Well, if you've seen me, you would have noticed I was pregnant. No? Pregnant or not, people living on the lower floors are forbidden from using the elevator. It's the courteous thing to do, not to mention common sense. Only those of us living on the upper floors have permission to use it. You really are a nasty piece of work, aren't you? I'll remember this. Oh, the poor little dog is barking at me.
Hey, Naomi. It's true. I asked a few of the other residents, and that horrible woman has been collecting fees from people. Some paid and some flat out refused. So she was lying when she told you were the only one questioning it.
I knew it! But why would the others just cough up money? Whichever way you look at it, she's just demanding money that we've never had to pay in the past.
She told everyone that there was a meeting with the owner.
Well, you're the owner. So it was your idea to make everyone on the third floor and below pay an additional fee, was it?
Yeah, right. Do you think I'd go and do something like that? I'm as angry about this as you. She's made it all up. I spoke to a few members of the residence committee and they were livid.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm going to kick her out. I'll need to find out who is paid and compensate them. That's going to be a headache. There are over 200 families in this building. I wonder if she gave them receipts.
That will give her the wake-up call she deserves. Hey, do you think she's done this before at other places? I might do a little digging.
Maybe. She probably doesn't realize it yet, but she's made enemies of a lot of people. I'll also try and speak with her husband. Apparently, he's on the board of a big energy company, so hopefully he'll be able to view this objectively. God, I hope he's not the one egging her on.
Yeah, I'd be careful. He might be worse than her. Some of those executive types can be pretty cutthroat.
I met them both in passing the other day. They both seemed really nice. Very polite. She probably just acts that way in front of her husband.
That doesn't sound like her. She's an ogre to people when she's texting them. Well, to me anyway. I'll send you screenshots of the text now. She's got absolutely zero sympathy for me in my state.
I'm willing to bet she hasn't told her husband about collecting maintenance fees. Strange. You'd think with a job like his, she wouldn't need to demand money from people. Maybe she just wants to lord it over people? A bit of a megalomaniac.
Maybe he doesn't let her have access to any money? Hey, maybe she's a gambling addict and needs the extra cash to pay mob debts.
I suppose anything is possible. But I'll talk to him. The imagination is an amazing thing if you let it run wild. Best to just get the full story from the source. Oh, I just read that back and forth with her you sent. Geez, she's got it in for you. She sounds like a horribly exaggerated woman from one of those Real Housewives reality shows.
Yeah, but they actually exist in real life too. I hope you can put her in her place. I've only been back in the country for a couple of months, and this is the welcome I get from my fellow Americans. Talk about reverse culture shock. I hope it goes well with her husband.
Leave it to me. I feel bad. I didn't really think too much about the implications of living on the third floor. I just thought we'd be up high enough to be out of the prying eyes of people at street level, but not too high up that we couldn't get out quickly down the stairs if we needed to. We could have moved into an opening on the 30th floor, but I thought the convenience of the third floor would outweigh the view. With the baby coming soon, I didn't want you to be stranded in the lobby area waiting for an elevator forever. And when the kid is old, he or she can walk up the stairs to our place after school. Then suddenly we become victims of this bizarre discrimination. What would you call it? Heidism? Right. Anyway, sorry you had to be drawn into this. I'll sort it out, I promise.
It's so ridiculous. I don't need the extra stress. It's hard enough with the baby kicking like a champion and keeping me awake most nights. What the hell does it matter what floor you live on anyway? She's probably just a bored housewife with an elitist complex. I wonder if she has ever done a day of work in her life. Just shows that she lacks humanity. Probably doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, Naomi! What's the meaning of that notice on my door? It says my condo is up for rent. We live there! Explain yourself.
What? Why are you asking me?
Don't pretend to be innocent. I know it was you. You were loitering around my floor, no doubt. And the lock has been changed. What is going on?
Oh dear. It would seem that you are no longer welcome in this building.
Who gave you the right to decide such a thing? If you don't fix this immediately, I'm calling the police.
Really? Well, if you think you'll get anywhere, go ahead.
You really think I won't? Don't test me. I'll have you know my husband is on the board of one of the biggest corporations in this city. He's next in line to be the president. Do you really want to make enemies out of him and his wife? You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
No. Michael Monroe? Of Black River Industries? Of course I know who he is. I read an article about him in a business magazine.
Yes. And you dare to pick a fight with someone like him? You've got a lot of nerve. We will bury you in legal fees and court appearances. You know what? I've had enough of you and your little games. I'm calling my husband right now. Your days are numbered.
Go right ahead. Although...
Yes? What is it? Spit it out. Your last words.
Well, I think it only fair to warn you that it was your husband who made the decision to kick you out of the building. Not me.
What on earth are you talking about?
Yeah, I told him you were illegally demanding money from people on the lower floors as some kind of maintenance just for poor people. That's what you said it was, right? He was absolutely mad with rage. Oh, so you obviously haven't seen him today, have you? I'd steer clear of him for a while. He's furious.
How dare you spout such garbage at me? You may be a lazy good-for-nothing bottom dweller, but your imagination is certainly working at full speed. What a load of nonsense.
Nonsense?
I have not been demanding money illegally. I was merely acting on the instructions of the owner.
The owner? Really?
Yes. He told me he was thinking of making some improvements in order to increase the comfort of the residents and also raise the value of the building itself. But all these things cost a lot of money. I was in full agreement and took it upon myself to start collecting the money needed for such a renovation.
So tell your husband that. See what he says. Tell him your attempt to extort money from me and the other bottom dwellers was on the orders of the owner.
I don't need you telling me what to do. I'll tell my husband exactly that. He'll unleash hell on you and your family when I tell him how you've spread fake news and spurious accusations about me. This is an open and shut case of defamation of character. I won't stand for it. I'll see that you face the full consequences of your deceitful actions.
Fine. Hurry up and call him already. Let me know what he says.
I'm calling him right now. Just you wait. You won't get away with this. You'll be sorry. Mark my words. I've been informed that your husband is the owner of this building.
Oh, is that what your husband said? It must have come as a bit of a shock.
How are you taking it?
But you're right. My husband is indeed the owner of this building. From the low-life scum on the bottom floors to the wealthy and extremely important on the top floors.
That can't be right. I heard that the owner had emigrated and was no longer in the country. I thought the housing company was dealing with the maintenance.
That was the plan originally. I was happily planning to raise our kids where we were, but things happened and we ended up moving back to the good old US of A. It's good to be home and feel that neighborly love.
Don't mock me!
You've just admitted that you thought the owner was living abroad. You used his name without permission to try and make some free money for yourself. And I've got all the evidence I need in this WhatsApp conversation. Not as smart as you think, are you? You really are a piece of work. It's no wonder your husband hit the roof. He won't be able to show his face in the building.
This isn't happening! You!
What did your husband say? Did he take your side? Did he call his army of lawyers and swing into action?
Should I be worried? He won't listen to a word I say. He just said to get out. He'll send my things when I have a new address. He won't even talk to me. Everything is being done through his lawyers. What can I do? I don't have anywhere to go.
If that's what he says, then that's what you should do. Pack up and get out. What did you say about his lawyers? Something about unleashing hell? I wouldn't want to face that. I'd make myself scarce. And Cynthia, I asked around a bit about you. A friend of a friend lives in the building you used to live in. He says you caused a hell of a problem for the residents there, too. If I were your husband, I'd kick you out, too. He's relatively well known, especially in this city. Sounds like he's run out of patience with you rustling feathers everywhere you go.
Do you think I'd have any chance in court against him?
How would I know? Does he have a history of domestic violence? Anything like that? But I'll tell you this for free. There ain't no one that's going to stand up for a woman who extorts money from other residents so she can blow it on gambling and toy boys. That alone is enough to see you go to prison.
How do you know about that? So it's true?
Wow, that was an easy confession. I was only throwing out wild theories to see what would make you bite. Damn, that was easy. You know me and my wild imagination. But this time I was bang on the money. Geez, Cynthia. I figured you for an absolute monster of a woman, but I didn't think I would be right. You really are a piece of human garbage.
So you were just setting me up to get me to confess? You weasel of a woman!
I'd rather be a weasel than a monster. I had nothing to lose. I wondered why the wife of a rich business executive would need to try and force people to give her money. I imagined a few different scenarios, even a few where you were the victim. And I half wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt. But nope. You are just a self-absorbed snob who thinks she can do and say what she wants and treat others like they are all beneath her. But there's no helping you. You are going down. He'll take you to the cleaners. Woman to woman, though, and I shouldn't be saying this, but if I were you, I'd take what I could get my hands on and run for the hills. Try and start again somewhere.
I can't take anything! I can't even get into the condo. The locks are changed and the windows are all barred. This is all your fault! If you just kept your mouth shut, none of this would have happened.
Me? How the hell can this be my fault?
I didn't know your damn husband was the owner, did I? Had I known, I would have left you alone and you'd have been none the wiser.
What's the point? He would have been found out eventually. Someone would have come to my husband and complained. You can't just create a fake fee and suddenly expect people to pay it without raising suspicion. And you had better make sure you pay everyone back when you apologize.
This is all you're doing. I've done nothing wrong. You've twisted it to make me look like the bad guy.
Stop with the poor me, boo-hoo, sob story. You most certainly are not the victim here, and you know it. Or if you really don't see that, you need more than a lawyer to help you. I'd go for pills and a straitjacket.
You just stay right where you are. I'm going to your place right now to teach you a lesson.
Cut that out, Cynthia. You'd come down here to physically threaten a pregnant woman? I won't open the door whatever happens. In fact, I don't feel safe with such an unhinged woman on the loose in the building. I'm going to call the police.
You just wait right there, you piece of trash.
Cynthia, I've called the police and they're on the way. Just give up and go back upstairs to wait for your husband. The damage you've done to the door will cost a lot to fix. You're just adding willful damage to extortion, whatever else you've done that's about to catch up with you.
You shut your damn mouth, you horrible woman! This is entirely your fault! Get out here, now! Come out and face me!
Hey, Cynthia. The cops have just pulled up downstairs. This is the 3rd floor, so they'll be up in no time. Shouldn't you hightail it out of here?
I'll make you pay for this! Every last one of you! Remember this! I'll be back!
Whatever. Just get out of here. Oh, and hey! Criminals don't have permission to use the elevator! After that, Cynthia was arrested and hauled away by the police. Although she somehow managed to avoid a prison term, she was given a suspended sentence and made to pay hefty legal fees. She also had to make regular payments to the building residents she had coerced money out of.
Of course, her husband divorced her. She lost custody of her children as well. She lost all her possessions and every last friend and family member who had stood by her the last few times she had gotten in trouble. I guess there is a limit, even for family. Her parents, worried that she might hurt herself and others, decided to take her back to their place in the country. Apparently, she's living a heavily sedated but harmless existence in the countryside and seeing a psychiatrist a few times a week. As soon as she left the building, it went back to how it was before. The money for the maintenance fee was returned, and everyone is allowed to use the elevator. The biggest source of friction went back to being old Mr. Wilson in room 205, stopping residents in the lobby and lecturing anyone who'll listen about the evils of modern society. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. Bye!
Dad, do you think you can come home real quick?
Maya, what's the matter, Pumpkin? Did something happen?
Actually, never mind. I forgot that you were on a business trip. I guess asking you to come all the way back home would be ridiculous.
Sorry, I didn't realize that you were calling me. I'm free now. I can't talk to you on the phone right now since I'm on the subway. But I'll be able to text you if that's fine with you. Anything on your mind? Hold on. What about school? Aren't you supposed to be in class during this time of day? Was it an early day for you?
No, I left school early. I wasn't feeling good, so the teacher took me to the nurse's office. I have a pretty high fever.
You're sick. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Make sure to stay in bed, all right? I'm sure you'll find some medicine in the cabinet under the sink, if you need some. I'm sorry I can't be there to help you, but I'm sure your mother will be able to take care of you. Tell me if you need anything, and I'll see if I could get them for you on my way home.
Dad, that's kind of the thing. I can't get into the house.
Oh, did you forget your keys?
I think so. I remember I put it in my bag yesterday when I went out with my friends, but when I came back home, I emptied out my bag in my bedroom. I realized it was getting pretty messy in there, so I thought I should get organized. I think that's when I lost it. Maybe I forgot it on my bed. Either way, I don't have it with me. I looked everywhere.
Oh, that's a problem. But hold on, shouldn't your mother be inside? She shouldn't have work today, and she said that she doesn't have any plans either.
I know, I heard her say that too. But it looks like she's not home. I'm ringing the doorbell, but no one's answering. Judging from how all the lights are off, I think she's out. I tried calling her, but it just went to an automated message. I think she has her phone turned off or something. Hold on, maybe I can go ask one of our neighbors and see if they know anything. Yeah, it looks like she left the house about an hour ago. The neighbors said they saw her walking outside from the window.
That's strange. I wonder what she's doing. Well, I'm sure it's nothing important. She probably went off to do some emergency shopping. Anyways, we have to do something about you and your fever. I guess it's not the best idea to barge into our neighbor's house. We don't want to risk them getting sick, especially with their newborn baby. Hey, you know how to get to your grandmother's apartment, right? It's not that far from there. She texted me earlier with a photo of a new plant she bought. Something about how she's spending her day off tending her babies at home. She's not one to go out that often, so chances are that she's still home. I know you're not in your best condition, but do you think you could make it to her place?
Yeah, I think I can. I'll do that then.
All right. Be careful, Pumpkin. I hope you get well soon. I'll tell my boss about what happened. She's a reasonable person, so I'm sure she'll let me leave early once I'm done with all of the important stuff. I'll come over to pick you up in the evening. How does that sound?
Sounds good. Thanks, Dad.
Sienna, are you there? Where are you right now?
Hi, honey. I'm at home right now, obviously. Didn't I tell you that I don't have any plans today? Why do you ask?
Oh, right. I guess you did. I guess I sort of forgot. I must be getting old.
Come on, you're not that old. What's the matter, honey? Did you miss me?
Yeah, I guess I did. That business trip I had was pretty grueling. I think I just needed a little motivator from you.
Oh? All right then. Good job on your business trip. I hope you come home real soon. Anyways, will that be all? You didn't have anything else to tell me? No emergencies?
Yeah, no emergencies. Everything is fine, as usual.
Okay then. I'm cooking right now, so I'll talk to you later, all right? I don't want to cut myself with the knife. And I have to make sure not to burn the pot either.
All right. Hey, before I go, what are you cooking? Were you just cooking the entire day?
Some secret special stew. I found the recipe on the internet, but it smells weird, so don't expect it for dinner. And yeah, I guess I have been spending the entire day cooking. That and I was doing several other household chores like cleaning and washing. Gotta keep the house tidy, even if it is my day off. Honestly, I've been so busy. You're lucky that I picked up my phone just now.
All right, cool. I'll leave you to that then. I don't want to bother you too much. I'll be heading back to work. I'll be back in a couple more hours.
Uh-huh. Good luck. I'll be waiting for you, honey.
Sienna, there's something I have to tell you. It's not urgent, but it's better if you know about it sooner than later.
Hey, honey. What's the matter?
I'm probably going to have to leave the state for a while. I just got appointed to a long business trip.
Oh, really? When is it?
It starts next month, on the first Monday. It's about 1 to 2 weeks. We're not sure on the details yet, but it could be a little longer depending on how well our deal goes. Do you think you'll be able to look after Maya during those days?
The first Monday? You mean from the 3rd?
Yeah. Was that a problem? Did you have some plans or something?
I do. Oh gosh, I forgot to mention it to you, didn't I? It's not decided yet, but I might go on an overseas vacation around those few weeks.
Really? You don't go on a vacation that often. Is there going to be some special event that you wanted to attend to?
Remember my high school reunion that I had several months ago? I met one of my old friends there. She's the best. We exchanged numbers, and we've been talking to each other nonstop ever since. She said that she travels a lot for work, and that she knows several good places to visit during vacation. Since then, we started to talk about how cool it would be if we could go on a trip together.
An old friend from your high school reunion, huh? That must be nice.
It is. I was hoping I could go spend some time with her during those dates you just mentioned. My friend told her boss that she'll be taking paid leave during those days just today. I was going to tell my boss tomorrow, too. So, yeah. Will it be okay if we let Maya stay with your mom? I know she's already in high school, but it's probably not the smartest idea to let a teenage girl be alone for such a long period of time. You never know who she might bring into our house.
You're right about that. I don't mind you going on a trip with your friend, but I'll have to ask my mom first if she'll be able to take her in. I'm sure she'll be happy to, but it is pretty sudden.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't mention it to you sooner.
It's all right. Let's sort out the details once we know more about our schedule.
Got it. Love you, honey. Hey, Dad? Mom just left with all of her suitcases.
Thanks for the input, Pumpkin.
You said you were coming home today from your business trip, right?
Yup. I'm taking the flight home at around noon. I should be back home by 1 p.m. The moving truck will arrive early afternoon, so I'll pack up everything we need. So, once you're finished with school, you can just go over to the new place. All right?
Just as planned. Got it, Dad.
And make sure you don't forget your keys.
Don't be so mean, Dad. But thanks. I'll be careful.
And, Pumpkin, I'm sorry you have to deal with all this. You shouldn't have to.
What are you apologizing for, Dad? You didn't do anything wrong. Life is just like that sometimes.
Maybe, but still, I feel like I failed you as a parent.
To be honest, I guess things are a little stressful. But the same thing probably goes for you as well. I'm just hoping that everything goes as planned. There's no time to mope around. I mean, the past is in the past. We just have to do our best and make sure that our future will be better. Right? Fingers crossed?
Maya. Right. Fingers crossed. You've grown to become such a dependable kid. I'm proud of you, Maya. I really am. I guess I shouldn't bother you anymore. It's almost time for school, isn't it?
Yep, I'll be going real soon. Goodbye forever, old place. Time for my last day in school.
Stay safe. I'll see you tonight.
See you. Hey, honey? It's about time you arrived at home, right? Isn't your business trip over? I just arrived at the airport. Could you come and pick me up? It's getting late, so I don't want to take the bus.
Oh, you were coming home today? I completely forgot about it.
Come on, honey. Don't forget the day your lovely wife is returning.
Yeah, my bad. The car's broken right now. I'm having it repaired, but it won't be back for a few days.
Oh no. Really? Were you driving across the city with it again? I've told you, you're draining the car's life with your little hobby.
Maybe. Either way, I can't help you. You'll just have to come home on your own.
All right, I guess there's nothing I can do about that. I'll just call a cab or something.
Good idea.
Honey? Did you change the lock? My keys won't open the door. I'm pretty sure it's not that my keys are broken. Do you know anything about it?
Welcome home.
Yeah. Are you not home? I don't see anyone and the lights are all off.
I am.
Really? Then could you open the door already? I've been knocking on the door for ages. Did you not hear me?
Right. Knocking won't do you any good. And there's no point in getting the door open either, so don't even bother.
What are you talking about? Why are you sounding so cryptic? You're making me worried.
You're at the old place, aren't you?
What do you mean? What old place?
We moved.
What? Why? Why haven't I heard anything about it?
Sorry to ruin your exciting trip with your friend. Or should I say, your lover. Maya and I moved out of the house a few days ago. Don't bother with the old place. It's not our house anymore.
Honey, I don't understand. What are you actually talking about? Whatever you think, you've got it all wrong. The only person I love is you, honey. I would never cheat on you.
Are you even trying? I'm over your lies, Sienna.
But I'm not lying. Do you really think I would cheat on you? Whatever you think, I think you're jumping to conclusions.
I don't know. I just know the facts.
Don't be ridiculous. First of all, didn't I tell you that I was on a trip with a friend from high school? Sure, she's an old friend of mine, but she's a girl, and we don't have any romantic feelings for each other. Please don't tell me you're getting the jellies. How long do you think we've been married? If you're so bothered by it, I'll be more considerate in the future. I'm sorry I didn't realize it.
I see. She had one impressive beard, but whatever you say. And you're saying that you don't have romantic feelings for each other, but you're willing to sleep with them?
Huh?
I would consider that to be more than friends. But who knows? Maybe I'm just old-fashioned.
What are you talking about?
And besides, I heard that they're married.
What?
They're one of Maya's classmates' parents, right? We know. I get it. It's cool to know that your old friend has a child that goes to the same school as your kid. It must be especially noteworthy if they're in the same math class. But I don't think that warrants you having some adult fun time, do you? Honestly, I'm surprised that I even have to have this conversation with you. I'm disappointed, Sienna.
Hold on. How much do you know? Why do you know so much? Were you spying on us? That's a breach of privacy, you know.
I'm sure you have a bunch of questions, but to be honest, I'm not feeling like answering every single one of them. Let's just say that I hired a person, and they did a pretty good job. They told me all I need to know about your little love affair.
I don't understand. Since when did you suspect it?
Remember when I was on my previous business trip? The one where I left the state for just a day? It was a few months ago.
Yes, I believe I do.
Maya was sick on that day. She had a high fever, and she left school early to go home.
I remember. I had one missed call from Maya. But she just said that she called in to tell me that she was sick. I didn't know she left school early.
Yeah, well, now you do. When she arrived at the doorstep, she realized she forgot her keys. She tried calling for you, but it went straight to an automated message. That's probably the call you got. She noticed that you weren't home, so she texted me instead. She told me how she couldn't get inside our house, so she stayed over with my mom until I could come and pick her up after work. I was hoping she wouldn't catch on that you may be cheating, but she is a bright kid. She must have realized something was off if she decided to hide the details from you after you came home.
So, that's why you two came home together.
Exactly.
But wait, does that mean the message you sent me on that day was so you could test me? Because I remember you asked me something about where I was.
Pretty much. Although I had a strange feeling that something was off. It wasn't like something actually happened yet. So I decided to dig in and ask you if you were doing anything. Turns out, you were cooking the entire day at home. Strange, right? If that was true, you'd be able to let Maya into the house. There's no reason to lie about something if you didn't feel guilty about it. And I'm sure it's not like you were trying to pull off a surprise birthday party for someone.
I don't believe it. I knew Maya got sick, but I just thought that she went to all of her classes. I just thought you went to pick her up after school. So, you just kept that to yourselves all these months? You pretended that nothing was wrong, while you snooped around in my personal life?
I don't appreciate the way you're phrasing it, but basically, yes. I will say that at the time, it was only a sneaking suspicion. It wasn't like we had any definitive proof, and I didn't want to jump to conclusions. But it was still strange that you would lie about it. So we decided to look into it a little bit. But now, I know for sure. You were meeting your boyfriend, weren't you? It's nice to know that I didn't wrongfully accuse you of anything, but I really wish I had. You have a daughter in high school. You should be used to parental responsibilities by now. What was going on in your head?
Sorry, I didn't mean it. It was just that we were drunk and I didn't want to be disrespectful. I won't do it again. I promise.
Right.
Honey? So, you said you moved, right? Where are we going to live? Could you give me the new address?
Why should I?
What do you mean, why should I?
Didn't you read the memo? Why do you think we moved without telling you anything?
But, honey…
Why don't you take a second to think about how Maya's feeling? Because she really doesn't want to see you.
Huh?
Just think about it. This is Maya we're talking about. I've never seen a girl more invested in school than she is. She never misses her class. But on that day in question, she felt so sick that she had to leave school early. And when she finally arrived home, nobody was home to let her in. I'm sure she felt devastated. Of course, it is her fault that she forgot her keys, and I'm sure she understands that too. But the reason you weren't home was because you were off having fun with your boyfriend. If it was any other reason, then I imagine she would have been fine with it. But considering what was really going on, I don't think you can blame her for feeling a little salty about that.
Well… okay. I guess that was my bad. I understand where you two stand. But honey, shouldn't we at least have a chat before we take things to the extreme? I mean, this is pretty much no different from kicking me out of the house. It's way too much.
Maybe we should have a chat. Maybe we shouldn't. But either way, that still doesn't warrant me telling you our new address. If we need to talk, we can do it somewhere else. Just not at our home.
You can't be serious, honey.
Do you think I'll joke about something like this? If you can't tell, I'm very angry with you. And one more thing, since you'll find out sooner or later. Maya's going to a new school in another city.
What? That's definitely going too far. You didn't have to do that.
It's not my place to judge, nor is it yours. I was just doing what Maya felt best for herself. To be fair, I wouldn't want to go to a school where one of my classmates has a father who is cheating with my mother either. No matter how focused you might be on your studies, that's bound to make things awkward in class. I'm sure her classmate would feel the same way too if they know about it. She's getting ready to apply for college. We don't want her to feel any unnecessary stress at school when everything is already stressful enough. That's why we came to the conclusion that it would be best if we moved schools, just like we moved houses. Everything went smoothly, so you don't have to worry about it.
No way. I can't believe it.
While we're at it, I guess I should tell you that I'm not going to work in the same office anymore, too.
What? You went as far as to quitting your job? Isn't that being a bit rash?
Of course not. I'm just transferring to another branch that's closer to our new place. It's actually part of my promotion. I was going to talk to you about it, since I wasn't sure if I should accept my promotion and have everyone move to a new environment. But surprise, surprise! It was revealed that someone was having a secret love affair behind the scenes. So I figured there's no point in talking to you about it. Cheating is one thing, Sienna. But we know that you slept with your boyfriend in our old bedroom. Sorry, but I don't have the mental capacity to endure living in a place like that. I haven't told Maya about the details, but I don't want her near that place either. That's why I sold the place off.
How do you know all this stuff? You're starting to make me feel exposed.
Good. You should be.
Where am I supposed to go now? I'm still your wife, you know. And where are all my belongings? You didn't throw them away, did you?
I'm not that cruel. I've packed up all of your things and sent them off to your parents' house. Why don't you just live with them from now on? That, or maybe you could ask your boyfriend for help. Although, I'm not sure how his wife would feel about that. Anyways, the lawyer will be heading to your parents' house to sort out all the documents.
Lawyer? Documents? Are you trying to charge me with something?
I wish I could. I'm just having a professional deal with our divorce. The same lawyer should be arriving at your boyfriend's house, too.
What? What are you doing? You can't just do that.
Oh, but I can. I already did.
But his wife would find out about our relationship.
You don't have to worry about that, because everyone knows about it already. My mom knows, your parents know, and your boyfriend's wife knows.
No, you can't do this to me.
Good grief. I wouldn't complain so much if I were you. I'm sure most people would agree that you only have yourself to blame.
No, this can't be happening. Why would you do this to me? How could you be so cruel? Do you not have a conscience?
Very funny. If you really wanted to find some new love, you should have just told me that you wanted a divorce. It would have been sad, but I wouldn't have blamed you. We're only human. In fact, I would have appreciated and applauded your courage to be honest with me. Take that as a lesson for next time, if you have one. And don't try to pin the blame on other people.
Please, I'll do anything. I don't want a divorce. Anything but a divorce.
This conversation's probably going to go nowhere. I can already see it. If you have anything you want to tell me, talk to my lawyers. They'll handle it from now on. To be honest, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Sorry for taking your time. Before I go, Maya's doing great. I'll tell you that much, although it seems like you don't really care about her. You didn't ask anything about her. Anyways, I hope our paths never cross again.
Wait, honey!
Goodbye forever, ex-wife.
Don't leave me! Honey? Honey!
A few days later, my lawyer got all the formalities sorted out for us. Everything was taken care of. Maya and I were finally free to enjoy our new lives in a new environment. As for Sienna, it seems like she was initially planning on staying with her boyfriend. However, as a surprising twist, her boyfriend's wife decided to give her husband another chance. It seems like she was much more forgiving than I was, though it was on strict conditions, and was so that their child wouldn't have to suffer any consequences. The next option for her was to ask me to marry her again. I said no, for obvious reasons, so she decided to barge into my mom's house. She was shocked to realize that the apartment was empty. The thing was, we actually decided to move into a larger house so that my mom could live with us. It seems like she was in a panic because she made a whole scene in the apartment building. Security had to take her away, and her parents eventually came to retrieve her. Because they knew what had been going on, they were extremely disappointed with her. Although Sienna was hoping that she could stay with them, they arranged it so that she'll have to make her own living by herself. I heard from her parents that she currently works in a factory in some rural area. The working conditions aren't that great, but they say that it's disciplinary action for what she did. Currently, Maya and I are having a great time. Maya's learning a lot about gardening from my mom. Since she always liked botanical science, she's thinking about going to some college that has a reputation for being strong in plant biology.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. Feel free to leave any thoughts in the comment section, and I hope we get to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching!